All right, here we go. This is the Elite Review podcast. This is Kendrick, and we're speaking with.
Aiden.
And unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties, so we'll just be seeing my face today, and we'll be seeing Jim Halpert's face for Aiden. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, we're gonna quickly talk about just that season finale, which was absolutely amazing. Chapter 16, episode 8 of season 2, the rescue. Um, we're just kind of gonna keep this one a little less structured and everything, just because everyone knows it was amazing, everyone's seen it. Um, so we don't need to rank it too
Of
much because we
course.
both love it a lot, of course. So, um, just to quickly summarize, recap a little bit, we basically start off with just right away. We're going after Imperials and we're trying to get to Dr. Pershing. Boba Fett's after them with the Mando and the whole crew, and they end up getting on the ship. There's like some banter and everything. They get Dr. Pershing, and they decide to go find Bo-Katan because they want her to join the Force with her Mandalorian friend. Um, Once again, there's banter and everything there, and then Bo-Katan ends up agreeing because Mando says they're going after Moff Gideon, and that he needs the kid. That's all he needs. And she really just cares about the dark saber. That's all she really cares about. So they head just to start going after Moff Gideon, and they come up with this little plan to make it into the ship and have Boba Fett pretend like he's attacking them. So they let him in. Moff Gideon starts to hear her voice, and I think he recognizes that it's her. So he kind of starts preparing for an attack and everything. Anyway, they make it inside the ship, the big Imperial cruiser where Moff Gideon is, and they make it in there, and they start just attacking, going through stormtroopers, while Mando's going to go save Grogu while they attack everybody and make a distraction and make their way to the hangar. And yeah, they end up doing their attacks. There's a bunch of cool attacks. Mando makes his way to the Dark Trooper room, and we get this kind of epic fight
Mhm.
between him and one Dark Trooper. And you can tell that they're really hard to destroy. Like shooting them doesn't really work very well. Hitting them, flame throwing them doesn't really work. So he has to pull out his Beskar spear and kill one of them. And then he releases all the rest of them out of the ship. But the thing is, they can jetpack, which will come into contact later. And then, yeah, he basically destroys one of them. He makes his way to Moff Gideon and Grogu, and Moff Gideon has his sword above Grogu, and they have a little talk. And Moff Gideon basically ends up saying like, "Oh, you can just take him," but then he betrays him and starts hitting him with the dark saber. And Beskar can block lightsabers pretty well, so Mando just has this fight with him with the Beskar spear. Pretty cool fight. Um, and then they have their fight. Mando defeats him pretty quickly, gets the dark saber, and then they just head to the hangar where Bo-Katan and all the rest of the forces have taken out everybody. Um, and yeah, and they're just basically talking about this dark saber and how Bo-Katan wants it, but then Moff Gideon says that she will be just kind of a fake person if she doesn't fight to win it, which she was supposed to fight Moff Gideon, and Mando did instead, but Mando's just trying to give it to her. So that'll probably be a conflict for later seasons and things like that. Um, and then the Dark Troopers show back up, and Moff Gideon knows this. They shut the doors, and Moff Gideon's just ready for them to get killed by these Dark Troopers because obviously they have are guns, really. Um, so they're not going to do very good. And then we start to remember that we need to see some sort of Jedi or something from Grogu's signal. So we see just an X-wing pull up to the ship, and it's just one X-wing, and they ask who it is, no response. And then all of a sudden, you look in the security cameras, you just see this hooded figure with a green lightsaber just kind of hitting and destroying all these dark troopers like they're nothing. And then we start to slowly reveal that it's Luke Skywalker. Spoiler alert. And he comes with his green lightsaber, and you see his robot hand, so you know it's Luke. Takes out all the dark troopers so epically with the Force, and probably the most epic we've seen Luke ever fight. And he makes his way through them, makes his way to their little station there that they're in the hangar. Opens the door. They open the door for him, and pulls off his hood, and it is Luke CGI Luke Skywalker or CGI Mark Hamill on a person, and he just basically says it's time to take Grogu because Grogu needs to be trained, and yeah, and it's a hard time for Grogu because he doesn't want to leave Mando, and Mando obviously doesn't want Grogu to leave, but he does need to leave so he can be trained. Luke basically tells him that he'll die if he doesn't, get his training and what he needs to learn. And Luke's looking for Jedi at this point in Star Wars to train them. So that's so he ends up taking Grogu, and we get a little cameo from R2D2, and Mando and Baby Yoda kind of say their goodbye. Um, and he takes off his helmet for him because Grogu's never seen it. and they have kind of this touching, sad experience. And he ends up letting Grogu go, and Grogu's off with Luke Skywalker, and that's how we end the episode. And then we have a post-credit scene. Boba Fett goes back to where he was in Return of the Jedi, where Jabba's palace was. He takes out everybody there, and basically we got a new show with Boba Fett coming out next year, called The Book of Boba Fett, and he will be taking over the throne of Jabba the Hutt. And that was a very quick recap, but that was the season finale. Really quickly, we'll just talk about some of our favorite parts. What were some of your favorite parts?
I mean, I could state the obvious, but first of all, I'll just say I do really like the fight with Mandalorian and Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I do wish it could have been a little bit longer, but I think that was still a really cool part.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing the Dark Troopers in action. You just get to see how powerful they are. And it just did not seem like Mando could win those guys.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't if he had to fight all of them. And then, obviously Skywalker showing up at the end. And then seeing R2-D2, it just so iconic. I loved it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I guess I have to agree with all of that. I mean, there was a lot of cool little fighting parts, like when Bo-Katan and her friend kind of jump up with their jetpacks and take out the squad of stormtroopers. I thought was really cool.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously the fight between Mando and Moff. I was expecting more, but it still was good. Then yeah, I mean, Luke Skywalker showing up, Grogu saying bye to Mando, I thought was some of the most emotional stuff I've seen in Star Wars. So that was great to see, and especially that they would decide to separate those characters is pretty take some guts there. So I'm glad they're taking risks. And yeah, obviously Luke Skywalker was amazing. I thought it was too good to be true, and then it happened, and they did the ultimate fan service possible. Granted, they didn't do it amazingly with his CGI face. I don't know why it looks kind of off and why his eyes kind of just stay the same the whole time.
His nose looked weird too.
Yeah, he looks very video game like. He just looked like a video game character to me, but obviously I was still happy to see it. And it wasn't terrible, but I just know they could have done better with it. Because like Leia's CGI in Rogue One was like pretty exact. And then for some reason they didn't do it with Mark Hamill very well. Don't know why though. But I'm still happy that he came back to do a voice for it and everything, and it was really awesome. So I think everybody's favorite part was that, of course, Luke Skywalker showing up. You can't really get more epic than that.
I mean, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously there's a bunch of great stuff in this episode. We don't have to really talk much about it. Let's just go ahead and quickly talk about what we think season 3 could be about the Mandalorian, because now Grogu's gone to go training. I assume we're probably going to focus mostly on Din Djarin now, the main Mandalorian. And what do you think? What do you think season 3 could be about?
Honestly, right now, I don't have any clue. They didn't really leave us on a huge cliffhanger,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they teased Boba Fett and everything, but they're kind of all just left on the ship.
Yeah.
And Baby Yoda's gone. And I don't know, really. I don't know what season 3 could be.
I think it's mostly going to be about Din Djarin. I think he's going to join Bo-Katan to take over Mandalore, because that seems like that's her main goal right now, is to get back to planet of Mandalore with the Darksaber. So I think he's going to join that crew there. And I mean, Bo-Katan's whole goal was to take over that ship as well as the Darksaber. So now that they have the ship, I have a feeling they're going to probably try their best to take back Mandalore. And then I think how that ranges the New Republic show that's coming out. I think how that's going to spin off will probably be like Cara Dune and Moff Gideon. Maybe she takes him back to Rebel stuff, or I don't know. I think they're going to take their own separate journey with Cara Dune and Moff Gideon and stuff. And I think that Din Djarin will join Bo-Katan and go on that journey. And then maybe they'll show Grogu occasionally training. They don't have to show Luke doing that, like they could just show Grogu at a Jedi training.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see that. He could be with like other kids and stuff, learning how to train. And they wouldn't have to show Luke or anything like that, which I think would be totally cool. But I don't know if they're just not going to show Grogu for the next season or not, but I assume they will, because he's kind of the biggest character of that show. So
he's bigger than Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's bigger than Din Djarin. So
I keep
sure hope they do that. Yeah, I hope we see his advancements in force abilities. That'd be really cool to see because he's obviously got to learn how to do that. Um, and I think that's pretty much what we'll see for season 3. I assume Boba Fett will tie over as well into whatever happens in season 3. Or I have a feeling Din Djarin will show up in the Boba Fett show as well because they're all supposed to be a connected universe now. And I think Pedro Pascal, like the main
Uh-huh.
actor, said he's going to cross over into like the Ahsoka show and the Boba Fett show. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I assume he'll make his little appearances here and there until we get season 3, which won't come out until probably
Yeah.
2022.
Man, I'm so excited for that Boba Fett show, dude.
Me too. And the Ahsoka
That's
show. I'm
gonna be
excited
so
for all
awesome.
those shows. They're just gonna be great. And we got John Favreau and Dave Filoni basically like producing and kind of being the leads of all those shows. So that's just gonna be an awesome universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going very MCU style here, and I love it because I think that's what Star Wars needs right now. If you notice, they're not really focusing on movies. It's like they announce like one movie, but they announce like
Like
10 shows.
16 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the future of Star Wars is probably on Disney Plus, and I think that's the right step to go because I think people are done with the Skywalker saga. I think people are done pissing off the fans in Star Wars. And I think this is a good
Yeah.
direction to take it because everybody loves it, everybody's cool with it, and it doesn't piss off anybody.
Nope.
So I think they're doing it right. So kudos to Star
Me too.
Wars. Kudos to John Favreau and Dave Filoni. We applaud you here. You guys have saved Star Wars. So,
Yes, for reals.
any last thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about here?
I think I had a few things, but I don't really remember, to be honest.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we'll end there. I assume everyone's already seen this, but make sure to, like and subscribe to us. Make sure you check us out on Instagram at the Elite Review Podcast. Yeah, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify. We do tons of fun polls on Instagram, tons of voting and tons of just opinion stuff. And we love to collaborate with people. So let us know if you ever want to collaborate. And make sure you catch us we're going to be doing a Spider-Man MCU ranking with the Cosmic Wonder coming up here. And
Yes.
it's going to be awesome. And we have tons of MCU rankings, tons of Star Wars rankings. We will be shortly doing Return of the Jedi here probably in the next coming weeks. So look out for that. And then once January hits, we get WandaVision. We'll start talking about WandaVision and all the MCU shows. So it's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Peace out,
So, all
guys.
right. See you guys.